Welcome everybody, Jack here from Gingerbets and welcome to the Gingerbets Golf Betting Insights weekly YouTube show. This week I'm going to be breaking down the highly anticipated third major of the season. It's the US Open, the toughest test of all, from Country Club in Brookline. The 156 of the world's best players are teeing it up this week in what's sure to make for some fantastic viewing. And in the next 7, 8, 9 minutes, I'm going to be breaking down the course, the key skill sets required, and bringing you those all-important outright selections. So stay tuned, because all of that information is coming your way in the next 7, 8, 9 minutes, like I just said. But before I do that, if you're new to this channel, may I encourage you, have a look in the description box below. There is an opportunity to sign up for a weekly newsletter direct to your inbox. No sales pitch, no spam, just well-researched information that's sure to save you time, sure to make you more informed, and sure to give you an edge over the bookmakers. Don't just take my word for it. Have a look at the recent results. We've had an 80-1 winner just 2 weeks back. And last week, from just 5 selections put forward on the video, 4 of those selections finished in the top 13. We had a 2nd place finish, a 3rd place finish, a 6th place finish, and a 13th place finish in Harold Varner. And all of this information is available direct to you each and every week by signing up to the weekly newsletter. All the details in the description box below. But it's US Open week, and I promised you a breakdown of the course, the key skill sets required, and those all-important outright selections. And I'm excited to get to those outright selections this week, so I'm not going to dwell on the other parts just too much. But the course itself is a par 70 this week. It's made up of just the 2 par 5s, 12 par 4s, and the other remaining holes par 3s. It's the par 4s that are going to challenge the golfers most this week. 8 of the 12 par 4s register over 450 yards in length. It's a demanding test, as you can imagine, for a US Open. Rough grown up all over the place, on the just to the left and right of the fairways, of course, and then in and around the greens, with very undulating Poana greens in the main for the players to deal with this week. I expect a winning score of perhaps over par this week. I think it really will be. I think 1 or 2 over par will win this event this week. So let's hope that we can be as accurate with our score predictions this week as we were in previous weeks. So the key skill sets required this week. This has been a real key part of finding success in recent weeks, and it has been over the last 18 months on this channel. If nothing else, you can use this information to make your own selections. So if you don't follow Gingerbets blindly, this information will help you narrow down your portfolio and make your own selections. So we'll take it from the tee box, as we always do, and the foundation of any good major performance is going to require tee to green game to be in tip-top shape. You can't turn up to a major and fake it. You're going to have every club in the bag working. So I want players on side who've shown me that over the last 36 holes, and that'll be the foundation of my research. I then want to look at strokes gained off the tee. Everyone talks about accuracy at a US Open, but actually it's just general strokes gained off the tee that's so important. 5 of the last 7 winners have ranked in the top 10 for strokes gained off the tee on that given week, and I expect it to be the same this week on what's a really tough driving track if the overhead videos are anything to go by. Then want to look at approach play. Quite simply, this is the single biggest factor of every skill set on the PGA Tour, and on a real tough track with super small greens to aim at, approach play will be key this week. We've just touched on the small greens, and that leads me to the next 2 points. But you're going to have to scramble and get up and down for your life this week. These are the smallest greens of any major in 2022, and some of the smallest on the whole of the major circuits year in, year out. Therefore, players are inevitably going to miss greens. 25-30% of the time they're going to be scrambling and chipping in and around those greens, and I want players that have proven they can do that time and time again. And last but not least, in major championships, on the toughest tests of all, we want to look at bogey avoidance. Which players on difficult scoring tracks do the data tell us that they can hack it? Can they continuously get up and down when they miss the fairways? Can they be patient and get themselves into good wedge positions? We want players on side that have shown time and time again that they can avoid bogeys. And my headline selection tops the field in that category over the last 36 rounds. So let's lead straight into that headline selection. I'll keep you waiting no longer. He's not at the top of the board. He's mid-pack. He was 40-1 with Bet365 as a boost. Headlining the portfolio this week will be Shane Lowry. Shane's got 2 top 10s in the US Open previously and a best place second. He's in the most consistent form of his life with 6 top 20s in his last 8 events. Every club in the bag is firing right now. He's first in bogey avoidance on the PGA Tour over the last 36 rounds. His iron play is underrated. He can move the ball both ways. He can control his trajectory. He's an elite level scrambler. He has proven that he can do it in the toughest of circumstances in his home country in the Open Championship, and I believe that this test will be right up his street. Headlining the portfolio, Shane Lowry, 33-1 in the USA, 40-1 with a boost with Bet365, 8 places in the UK. Second selection of the week, I'm going back to the top of the board, and the second selection of the week will be another major champion that's been here, done it, and bought the t-shirt and arrives in some solid form. It will be Justin Thomas. He's got 2 top 10s from just 7 attempts at the US Open previously. He arrives on the back of a 3rd place finish at the Canadian Open last week, which was a real good warm-up for this event. It was a tough track, demanding in every single way, certainly the first 3 days. Pins were a little easier on day 4. He's ranked in the top 12 for strokes gained off the tee, and last week he drove the ball immaculately. Driving is often a weakness in his game, but he has it under control right now. He's gone to a baby fade off the tee, and he's hitting plenty of fairways, which sets up the rest of his game perfectly. He is the #1 approach player over the last 36 rounds on tour. Proximity to the hole he's dialed in right now. He's an elite level short game, and at 14-1, I expect JT to go super close this week. He'll be the second selection of the week. Third selection of the week, there's a theme here, but it's another major champion that's done it on the British Isles. He's collected the Open Championship. He's a winner of the US Open in 2015, and his tee to green game is firing right now. Over the last 6 events, he's gained strokes tee to green over half a stroke each and every round over the field. He can move the ball both ways with iron in hand and off the tee box. He puts the lights out of it when he's on form, and I think he's got the mentality to take down a US Open, or take down a second US Open, should I say. Third selection of the week, 25-1, Jordan Spieth. Fourth selection of the week, we're going to head to Korea, and it's going to be Sungjae Im, the fourth selection of the week. He's ranked 22nd in the world, and it fits the criteria of having to be in the top 25 in the world. He's a superb driver of the ball. He has really good control, and he's not short off the tee. He can hit a draw, he can hit a fade at will with the driver. His iron play is extremely good. He's ranked 2nd in bogey avoidance. So we've got Lowry, who's back first in bogey avoidance, and we've got Sungjae, who's 2nd in bogey avoidance, both in our portfolio. We know this is a critical factor in being successful at the US Open. If he can putt well this week, I believe Sungjae has an outstanding chance. I got a bit of 66-1, but he's 40-1 across the board in both the UK and the USA now, and I encourage you still to take advantage of those odds. And the 5th and final selection of the week is a player that I believe has a major championship in him. He's won every other event in the game. He's taken home the biggest prizes, but he's yet to compete in a major at the high end of the leaderboard. And I believe that this player has the right attitude and skill set. He's a great drive the ball, long and straight. He's got no real weaknesses in his game, but doesn't really excel such as JT does with iron in hand. This guy is just a top 10 player across the board, and I believe he's got a major in him, and I think this is the type of test that suits. I also believe this week that a slight draw off the tee is going to be favourable when looking at all the holes, and that is his natural shot shape off the tee. He's got a 2nd place finish and a 3rd place finish in his last 3 events. I'll keep you waiting no longer. The 5th and final selection of the week will be Patrick Cantlay, 25-1 BetMGM, 28-1 William Hill. So to recap, we've got headlining, we've got Shane Lowry. Then at the top of the board, we've got JT, followed by Jordan Spieth, and then two bigger price players in Sungjae Im and Patrick Cantlay to round off the portfolio for the week. Good luck with all your selections, and may I encourage you, if you enjoyed the content, can you please like and subscribe to the channel? And before I leave you, one more thing. Have a look in the description box, and don't forget, register for that weekly newsletter. There's so much more information than I can bring you in these short videos, and it's sure to help you in finding more winners each and every week on the PGA Tour. Thanks for listening. Bye from me.